Going to start my Q330 build, and we've now decided on the 1400 Turnigy motors, 2826s. I'm going to break down my ZMR plywood quad because the motors are a bit undersized for this particular one. It's a reasonably heavy frame. I'll measure them up in a second, give you a comparison. So I'm going to transfer the 1400 motors into ESCs. They're 30 amp ESCs. There's two Afros that I've flashed with Simon K and two Hobby King blue ESCs that I've also flashed with Simon K. They seem to work alright together. So we'll put them onto this lighter frame and see how it flies. So just an example, that this frame is 317 grams. And the ZMR frame, 160, so nearly half the weight. Though with these 1400 motors on this frame, we'll only be able to spin 8-inch props instead of the 9-inch props that was on the other one. So it'll be interesting to see with the slightly faster motors than like your standard 900 kV, how these 1400s go with the 8-inch props. I've never tried them before, so I'm looking forward to seeing it in flight. So I'm using the board's solder pads to run the ESCs off, running them this way so the back motors, or the front motors, will come off the back one into the ESC, up into some wiring and out to each arm, and I'll do that vice versa for the back ones. Got some visitors down here today. We have Bonnie, we have Buffy and Tess. Aren't I lucky? Good dog. One thing I will comment on that I really like of this Q330 frame is this notched out part of the frame where you can just run your cable into down to the motor. I do like that. That's very clever. So you can see what I'm talking about, how they just pop down in that little channel. Normally you'd run these cables in underneath and cable tie them in under here, but I'll just see how well it flies first. If it's a good flyer, I'll fix it all up later. But it just pops down in there. And put the frame on, hold it all together. So I've just put on the XT60 connector. But the one thing I'm not a big fan of is the fact that it's actually exposed on the bottom here. I'll put on some of this liquid electrical tape just to cover it up, but I plan on putting the battery here, so to have that there isn't ideal. Anyway, but aside from that, it's really a neat little frame. So the cables, as you can see, are just tucked in there nicely. The ESCs are all in under the middle here. The KK Mini will go on top. And we'll have it flying soon. I'm just waiting for the 8-inch props because I don't have any 8-inch props. These are 9s. As you can see, they're fine there. But around this side, that's not going to work too well. Alright, well, stay tuned for the next installment when I put on the controller and add a battery and see how she flies.